It's time for me to talk about Andrew Tate. And I'm going to talk about Andrew Tate by not talking much about Andrew Tate because there's not much to talk about. If you know by now, he's been arrested. I first heard of Andrew Tate like 7 months ago, maybe. He was on some video. He was talking about some stuff. I saw him. He says outrageous things on the internet. I've been around a while. I'm not a young dude anymore. People getting famous saying things on the internet is saying outrageous things on the internet is not something that, I'm used to that. It's not a new thing anymore. So I'll tell you why I'm kind of ambivalent about Andrew Tate. I understand his popularity. I don't really care one way or the other. I don't dislike him. I don't like him. He says some things that I think are more accurate. He says some things that I think are less accurate. The thing that I was nervous about with Andrew Tate, and I think the thing that you should learn to recognize is Andrew Tate had, every time I see a picture of the guy, I'm posting on social media, every time he's doing something, he's on a plane, all right? He's standing next to a pool practicing his nunchuck routine. He's with some girls who are all very attractive. Whatever, okay? I learned really early on in my life, for whatever reason, that if anybody appears to make a lot of money and yet doesn't display a certain amount of responsibility and to go along with that money, to go along with that lifestyle, I immediately don't trust this person, okay? And I can contrast that very easily with someone like Jeff Bezos, who I know right now Jeff Bezos seems to have a very popular image in the media. That really has only been since like his 2019 divorce. Back in 2015, 14, 13, all the way back, Jeff Bezos was just the guy who was in charge of Amazon, and he was always, whenever you did see him, he was always working very hard to like make Amazon bigger than it already was. And even to this day, if you check out his Instagram profile, there's not a super ton of pictures of him. There's pictures of things he's interested in. There's pictures of causes he's getting involved with. There's interest that he's trying to promote. And what I'm trying to say is Jeff Bezos is somebody who earned his billions of dollars by working very hard at it. And there's a level of responsibility that goes along with that, okay? It's a little bit like what Jordan Peterson said. He goes, you want to be a millionaire? Do you think you're ready for that level of responsibility? Do you have any idea how much responsibility comes with owning a business that's worth millions of dollars or just having and managing that amount of money? So when somebody like Andrew Tate comes along or Jordan Belfort, all right, the Wolf of Wall Street, when these guys come along who talk a lot of a big game about all the money they're making and all the women they got, and they don't seem to have a responsibility level, you don't ever actually see them working. You absolutely need to question that. You need to stop and go, I'm not sure this person is for real. There's something there that you're not seeing, okay? Because you do not get to that level unless you really inherited it, in which case you can be really filthy, stinking rich and not responsible for it. And I've met those kids, man. They got a lot of money and no responsibility. It's tough. They get into bad places in their life. I never, ever trust anybody who has that much money and yet doesn't seem to talk about how hard they had to work for it and how responsible you have to be to get and maintain that level. So there's my thoughts on Andrew Tate. He's not the first. He's not going to be the last. And you should absolutely look out for people like that and whether you're going to trust them or not. So there's usually a bad road.